to review that correspondence.
I did, yes.
And that's why I move, if I could, Your Honor, to 161. I move to introduce 161.
Any objection?
Yes, Your Honor. This privilege issue keeps coming up. As you can see on the document itself, it says this is attorney work product communication regarding a pending litigation matter. I mean, it's labeled as such. And I would suggest to the court that all of these types of emails are, in fact, work product or attorney-client privilege communications, and the only individual in that office who holds that privilege and who can waive that privilege is the elected Attorney General.
I'm sorry for laughing. I have to, so this is when sometimes we might take positions that come back to bite us. This is actually his exhibit that we agreed to pre-admit. And so I am offering an exhibit that was pre-admitted by us to him because it was one of his exhibits. Well, hold on. I'm not quite sure how he can now turn around and make a bunch of objections to an exhibit that he agreed to pre-admit. That we agreed to pre-admit and he accepted. It's his pre-admitted exhibit. It's in evidence, is my point.
I'm very confused because that was very confusing, but I would suggest this to the court. They put 161 on this as if it was their exhibit and moved it into evidence, and you asked for my objection.
Yes.
161 on their exhibit list is not this. So, I mean, I'm trying to, first, I guess we need to figure out what exhibit he's actually trying to offer. And if he's really trying to offer this, it ain't the right number. And if he's offering something that's already in evidence, then obviously I wouldn't object to it. But I'm very confused about what he's trying to do.
The court is very confused too.
I suggest he talk to, like I did, talk to someone on his side that knows more than he does about this. If he notices that exhibit that we introduced is AG 161. That's the Attorney General 161. I think if he checks with his people, he's going to find that's their exhibit that we agreed to pre-admit.
I didn't have any discussions with Mr. Harden. I mean, I know he's accused me of being recalcitrant. I haven't had any discussions about the exhibits, but my colleague, Dan Cogdell, has. As I understood it, they weren't going to object to any exhibits that we offered. They have no objections. But we had exhibits on our list that we may not offer. So I think that's probably what the dilemma we have, but I'm going to turn it, if you don't mind, since I didn't talk to Mr. Harden personally, maybe Mr. Cogdell can enlighten me.
I again suggest he talks to someone who knows something about the subject. I've just been handed my Ms. Jarris, and I'll be glad to tender to the court, where they have written down their exhibit number on this. 61.
That might be true, but you need to let us know you're offering our exhibit. I mean, when you say 161, that presupposes you're offering your exhibit 161. That's why we looked on your list, and this ain't your exhibit 161. Now, with regard to whether these were pre-admitted or not, I would turn it on to Mr. Cogdell.
In light of him objecting to us at this extended time, this may be the first time I'm asking the court to take that in consideration. They've been objecting to their own exhibit.
Mr. Cogdell.
Judge, in my conversations with Ms. Bravorka, both...
Speak into the microphone, please.
Yes, sir. In my conversations, and I understand Mr. Harden's heartburn that he didn't object to ours and we're objecting to his. I get that. That notwithstanding, in my conversations, both orally and in email exchanges with Ms. Bravorka, I very clearly stated that while I appreciate their not objecting, we did not intend to offer all of our exhibits. Many of our exhibits were marked for identification purposes only, for impeachment, for whatever. So I never said, just because you didn't object to them, we want to offer them all. That never happened.
I think we may be raising gamemanship to a new level. The fact is, it is their exhibit. They asked if we would agree to pre-admit. We agreed to pre-admit. That put it in evidence. It's as simple as that.
No, it doesn't. Just because they didn't object to it, somebody has to offer it. We never said all our exhibits that we marked are coming in. We never said that. I never said that. I get his heartburn, but I'm happy to pull the email up in my exchange with Ms. Bravorka, but I clearly said in there, we do not intend to offer all of our exhibits that have been marked.
I'm glad we don't have to poll the kids in the upstairs as to what they think about this exchange. We've now used about 8 or 9 minutes, I think, on them objecting to their own exhibit. I tender 161.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear Mr. Harden. I couldn't hear the last part, Rusty.
I'm sorry. I said, I'm glad that we do not have to poll the kids in the balcony as to whether this exchange makes any sense. I think we've taken about 8 or 9 minutes now on something where y'all are objecting to your own pre-admitted exhibit.
Again, they're not pre-admitted. They haven't been offered. We never said, if y'all don't object to them, we're offering all of them. To the contrary.
I'm going to take a 5-minute break.
Thank you.